The state of Yu-Gi-Oh for July 2022, and it's been a rough month, ladies and gentlemen. But you know what? The game moves forward, and thus so do we. I'll make it 30% if you guys have not smashed the crap button, that subscribe button, smash it so we can climb up the 100K ladder. So, what is the state of the game for late June 2022? Well, first of all, I'm just gonna talk about the big elephant in the room. It's been a couple weeks now since we've lost the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh, and I think the community has pretty much recovered. Isn't like the best phrase to say it, but things have pretty much returned back to that normalized state. And I think that it's both a good and a bad thing at the same time. A little bit more mourning, I think, would have been a little bit better off or warranted from the generalized impact of things. But it is always interesting to see just how much things get swept under the rug. And it's kind of sad, actually, when you say things like that. But I am glad that we have Yu-Gi-Oh! I am glad that we're still going. And I'm still glad that we get to experience the game together. So that's my thoughts on that. And I really hope that you guys really do treasure the game and all of that. So there's that. Now, semantics aside, a lot of the lost art prices and things have been... We've all seen this. We saw it with Stan Lee merch after his passing, where so many people went out and went crazy and bought up the collectibles. Unfortunately, that's just how things go, man. Like, you see the market, players are like programmed to want to have these things, and when somebody ends up passing in a game like this, you end up seeing particulars like that take place inside the market. So the good thing is prices have calmed down on some of this stuff. So if you were waiting to pick up a piece for your own collection, it's getting a little bit easier to find. So that is good news within that, right? So we lost the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh this month. The community was in pretty big shambles at the beginning of it. But like I said, things have pretty much returned and stabilized back down to the competitive scene, especially after the trading card game got their nationals, or we got our Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship block for this season here. We've talked about some of the problem cards within the game here. Mystic Mind, Halqifibrax, Scythe. There's so many problems here that hopefully a ban list will power through and definitely fix as we head forward here in the future. So we'll have to wait and see how that one goes. But you know how the community is in that regard. No matter what kind of ban list or things that we'll end up getting here, you know that the community is going to still have a crazy little tangent about something else. So you literally cannot please everybody in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's not how it works. So whether or not, Hulk, Mind, Chaos Ruler, any of these option trees get fixed, as long as something gets fixed on a future list, I think that's a win. Now, we are heading on into Power of the Elements here for the upcoming month. Yes, I know you're looking at Power and you're like, oh my gosh, like, I'm gonna be spending more money on Yu-Gi-Oh! When we make these particular videos, I try to give like heads up and go, hey, you've got guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. You had months, and I mean months, to save up money for this set. And I understand, what? Some people have more trouble spending or saving more, maybe jobs aren't, that's fine. But if you had a 3-month, 4-month decision time to know, there's 2 tier 1 decks coming out of this, maybe I should save some money for this set, you really only have yourself to blame. So I always got to bring that up, because I always get told, no, Robbie, it's not worth it to save money. And these are the same people out here that then proceed to spend way more money on stuff and they really should, but optimization is not always going to be optimal for everybody. So that being said, power is going to hit the meta here. You're going to see a big crazy spike. You're going to see probably 2 spikes and things. One with the release of power, and then a ban list will hit, and then everybody's like, oh, I got to go pick up cards from power because they just killed my deck on the list. It's literally the duality of Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Like, they're like, oh my god, like, I don't want to buy power, like, I don't want to play Sprite, and then they murder the metagame, and everybody's like, oh no, now I have to go buy it. And then everything else just goes even chaotically higher. Like, you've been warned. You know what's coming, all right? Like, that's just how it is. It happens every single time. It's the same pattern over and over again. I've seen it for years. So good luck. I hope that you have your Sprite core ready for what couple of months you get to play for it. Now, as we head on down further in the line here, Ishizu Tier Elements is probably the craziest deck of the year. If you want my personal opinion, that deck's I honestly think that will be the craziest deck ever in Yu-Gi-Oh! Just like the insane interaction points that it has, the crazy ceiling that it has. A lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players, I think the deck's going to get hit on the ban list very, very quickly. Simply because players, it's not very new user friendly. When I say new user friendly, like, it gatekeeps a lot of newer players out of the game. And when you have a deck that's that complicated or that unfun to play against, it detours little Timmy and little Susie from wanting to go to their local card store and play Yu-Gi-Oh! So, especially in like the deep heart of winter, we're probably going to get that. It's appropriate for it to get that play point because that's one of the lowest point times for Yu-Gi-Oh! Players, really, that you would see on the competitive circuit. I know it's kind of weird. You would think that that'd be a more optimized time, but with like winter storms and stuff, it won't be too crazy for that. So hopefully, you know, little Timmy and little Susie will get the chance to not have to deal with that this winter, and they can play a little bit friendlier of a format. If not, as soon as that deck hits, it's really not very, very user-friendly. It's very interesting to see how Yu-Gi-Oh! Gatekeeps itself at points and how it ungatekeeps itself at points. So I'm definitely I'm intrigued to see where that's going to go. But how's the rest of the year looking so far here? Dingwing Blast just pretty much got wrapped up in the OCG. It's nowhere near Power of the Elements level of crazy. But to be honest with you, it's a pretty cool set. It's definitely a lot better than the Breakers, or Battles of Chaos or whatnot that we had earlier last year in January. So yes, Darkwing Blast is looking pretty good. So far, the Rescue archetype, I'm super excited for that. Like, if you want my strat card right now for the year, I'm looking at that Rescue archetype. It's looking pretty good. Alright, like, it's not, like, amazing or anything, but it looks pretty fun. Oh, speaking back to Darkwing Blast, they also have that new little staple guy in there, that monster that banishes stuff face down, and it's a trigger effect. So you can do it whenever, alright? So just having a Pankratops that you can special summon. You know, I love how Yu-Gi-Oh! Likes to power creep itself. You know, you literally set up Cyber Dragon, you power creep it into Pankratops, and then you power creep Pankratops into something else. It's almost like Yu-Gi-Oh! Didn't learn when you power creep Pankratops after putting it to 1, that printing another stupid card with the exact same thing, but even better for a banish face down clause, wouldn't end up being a problem. Who would have guessed? I'm also super excited for the tins this year. Hand trap reprints will be good. I think this year's tins will have a lot better value than last year's. I'm also definitely looking forward to seeing how Runic prices are going to go. So many people are going to toss Runic aside. This is actually hilarious to me. I almost got money that everybody's going to look at the Runic set, they're going to call it trash, and they're going to toss it in the dumpster. Because at the point in time that it comes out, it necessarily isn't going to be... It's going to be competing with Sprite. But here's the thing. Those spells and traps are some of the best toolboxing options that are available for certain rogue decks. So you might want to keep an eye on it. Don't be like everybody else out here that's going to look at that set and immediately trash it because they're like, oh, this is just, you know, the Evil Twin set all over again. You remember what happened with the Evil Twin set, right? That crazy value a year and a half, 2 years later. Do not underestimate this one. I actually think that set's going to be the dark horse of the year, if you want my personal opinion. I'm super excited to see how it goes. So that is my prospects for the rest of the year here. At least the state of the game for this year. Trading market, sales market, still pretty much going very strong here. Power of the Elements is very highly anticipated by so many players. It's actually kind of crazy. Guys, please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.